Doctor 2. Hey, we checked out all your blood work and everything and etc. And I'm sorry to say that you have a fatal disease, but good news, we have a procedure with a 10% chance of failure. Which would you prefer? Hearing from Doctor 1 or Doctor 2?
I would say Doctor 2.
You guys
Sorry, no, Doctor 1.
Doctor 1. And
Sorry
PJ?
about that.
Dr. One for sure. Like it's like it motivates. Like it gives some a positive fun in us. Like when we hear that positive sentence, like 90% of success is there. But if you see on if you see have an overview on the statement of Dr. Two, then it just makes us feel down when we hear something about something negative, even if it's in a small quantity, but it's something negativity. So yeah, Dr. One.
And Beck, what do you think?
I would want to hear from Dr. One. Well, when you say a 90% chance of success, it just sounds like so much greater. Like you think about, oh, there's barely any chance that it will go wrong. Like it just sounds so much better than immediately thinking about the chance of failure.
Exactly. And so what do we, what do we know about this mathematically? It's the same thing, right? It's identical. The statements are identical in mathematical statistical terms, right?
It's just the way that it's given out or presented that makes the difference. Instead of hearing 10% chance of failure, you're hearing 90% chance of success.
Yeah.
And when you're hearing news like you have a fatal disease, the next thing you'd want to hear is news like you have a 90% chance of surviving this rather than you have 10% chance of not surviving this.
Right, and so what happens with the vaccine hesitancy or anti-vax people is that they emphasize the 10%, right?
Yeah.
It's not 10%, by the way, but just they emphasize the anecdotal evidence that one or two people had a bad result, right? In the millions that have taken the vaccine, right? And say, that's evidence enough. So you can see that the way things are framed, right, feeds importantly into how we receive them. So contrary to the rules of philosophers of science who advise testing hypotheses to try and refute them, people and scientists, who are also people quite often, seek data that are likely to be compatible with beliefs they currently hold. And you'll notice this happening in your own life, right? I mean, I was thinking of an algorithm that might save the world. Are you ready? So instead of feeding you down the rabbit hole of things that you agree with, what if Facebook, for every idea that you thought was sort of attractive, Facebook presented alternative points of view, right? Alternative evidence, right? Alternative ideas, right? That would help temper your echo chamber, news bubble, confirmation bias. But we already have confirmation bias built into us, and then what we have now is social media devices that just amplify that many times over, right? When what we need is exactly the opposite. And this plays back to what I said at the beginning, which is listening to each other's point of view and understanding the perspective, right? And thinking about how it's different and how it is, what the implications are for your own point of view. And we'll get to bicycle lanes, Kareem, a little later on in the course. The confirmatory bias of initial reception favors uncritical